Hey, I want to talk about another crazy thing happening on the Democrat side. I didn't realize that Cory Booker was doing some sort of, he must have been doing, I don't know, an ad for an adult diaper, because he stood up for 25 hours in the U.S. Senate, 25 hours and 5 minutes filibuster. In case you missed it, here's a little bit of what happened there.
From all Americans, this is a moral moment. It's not left or right, it's right or wrong. Let's get in good trouble. My friend, Madam President, I yield the floor.
Okay, that was Cory Booker after 25 hours and 5 minutes of obstructing debate on the floor of the Senate. Could this sort of behavior at all be why Democrats are so unpopular in the national polls?
Yeah, and what's really funny, just to preface this, is he wasn't filibustering any legislation, right? He wasn't holding anything up. He literally decided that he wanted to spend 25 hours standing and talking to the black void, particularly. And like you mentioned, look, Democrats would be better off listening to the American people instead of talking down to the American people. And that's exactly what Cory Booker did. The fact that he believes that focusing on how bad Donald Trump and Elon Musk are is going to win over dissatisfied independents and Democrats isn't going to work, because Donald Trump has exceptionally high approval ratings. He's doing phenomenally well on main issues like immigration.
I'm glad you mentioned immigration just there, because we are also seeing now the U.S. Border and Customs and Border Protection numbers show that during March, the southwest border saw the lowest number of crossings ever, with just 7,810 recorded. This is what people voted for. So why is it that the Democrats can't bring themselves to say, hey, you know what? Maybe we should be for this and fight Trump on the stuff where we think it actually matters, because if we're not with them on borders, we don't have anything.
Yeah, well, Democrats benefit from having the open borders that we saw under Joe Biden. And they benefit because of our apportionment, right? When you have a bunch of illegal aliens coming in and, settling down in certain areas and districts, it gives congressional representation, more congressional representation. It increases electoral vote college counts, and it takes it away from states that are comprised of legal citizens, right? People who actually have a say in this country. So Democrats need illegal immigrants here in this country. The other thing is, when we look at these low border crossings, it's an indictment not only of how Joe Biden purposely facilitated the open border crisis, because he could have done what Donald Trump did, but he chose not to. It's also an indictment of how weak and feckless certain Republicans are, like Senator James Langford from Oklahoma, who promised us we had to sign on to that so-called bipartisan border bill last year in order to secure our southern border. As it turns out, we didn't have to do that. We just needed a leader with a spine, and that is Donald Trump.
Brianna, I'm so glad you mentioned that point about how even if they can't vote illegal aliens, change the number of representatives Democrats get. Thank you so much for clearly explaining all of these issues. Really appreciate it.